So the Collegiate Academy is a program that is offered to students at Dearborn High and Edsel Ford and Fortson. Been around since I think about 2013 is when it first started, and so it's a 3-year program starting in 11th grade. Our first graduating class was 2016, so it's been around a little bit, and it's a very successful program. It's a wonderful program. I've been a part of it as the counselor since 2017, and I love my job. I love what I do. It's a great opportunity for students, and I love working with the students in the program. So let me just share some of the prime benefits that you'll experience, or your students will experience in the program. This is the big one here, is that you're essentially going to get 2 years of college paid for through the school district, completely free. And in this day and age, that's a huge benefit. As we know, college tuition has skyrocketed over the years, and I'll talk a little bit about that later on. That includes textbooks. If students take dual enrollment through our district, they have to pay for their own textbooks. So that's an added benefit for the Collegiate Academy. Here's kind of a nutshell of what this program looks like. We add an extra year to high school, so it's 5 total years in high school. But during those 5 years, you're going to finish your high school diploma and 2 years of college credits at Henry Ford College. Typically, that process would take 6 years. If you have a normal situation where a student attends Dearborn High or Fortson or Edsel Ford, and they graduate with their regular class after their senior year, and then they attend Henry Ford College and get an associate's degree, that's going to take 6 years to do that. So in our program, we overlap some of the high school and college credits. They count towards both, and we allow those students to finish in 5 years instead of 6, and of course all paid for by the school district. One of the other benefits is that really students experience college life like a normal college student. They're able to make their own schedules. They have a lot of say in the classes that they're taking based on their career goals, their college degree goals, where they want to attend college. So they really have a lot of independence in terms of making their schedule, whether they're taking online classes or afternoon classes, evening classes. In the winter term, the term that starts in January, most likely Henry Ford College will have a normal schedule where most of the classes will be offered online and in person. Right now, we have a lot of classes that are only offered online, but that option will come probably next semester. And then the credits is probably one of the biggest questions I get. Do credits transfer? Yes, they do. Henry Ford College would not be in business if their credits did not work with most of the universities in the state and beyond. So if students are going out of state, they're going to the major colleges in the state, it really doesn't matter that the credits are going to transfer. Not every credit transfers. It depends on the type of classes you're taking. If you're taking a 2-year program like an auto, or a cooking program or nursing program or things like that, some of those classes just stay kind of in-house, and they don't necessarily transfer. Nursing, I shouldn't have mentioned that. Nursing does transfer, but some of those other ones would not. And because you're getting those credits done a year early, you're getting 4 years of high school done and 2 years worth of college done in only 5 years. So you're going to finish your bachelor's degree a year ahead of time. So like I said, if you're a class of 2023, you'd finish your high school diploma in June of 2023, and say you go to a 4-year university after that, you'd finish in June of 2027. If you do the Collegiate Academy, you're going to finish the Collegiate Academy in 2024, and only have 2 more years to finish your bachelor's degree. So you'd finish in 2026 instead of 2027. So you'd finish that bachelor's degree a year early, and you'd have 2 years paid for without any college debt. So the students are going to be still part of their home high school. So, you're still going to be a Tractor or a Pioneer or a Thunderbird. You still have the benefits of the home high school. You can attend prom, you can do sports, marching band, extracurricular activities, yearbook. You can still do all those things all the way through the end of 12th grade. Students will not get their high school diploma until the end of the 5th year. However, let me say that again. Students in the program will not receive their high school diploma until the end of the program, which is at the end of the 5th year. So for this group here, these students who are going into 11th grade, their graduation year changes from 2023 to 2024. However, in June of 2023, when the rest of their classmates are walking in commencement, you all would be able to walk in commencement with them, get to experience the normal graduation experience. If you and your family make the decision, you could have your graduation party in 2023. You could get your senior pictures during your 12th grade. You could do all the normal things that seniors do. You just won't actually hold your diploma until the end of the program in 2024. You'll start taking classes at Henry Ford College this fall. You would take at least College 101, which is college success, in the fall. You'd take a couple other classes in the winter term. I'll kind of go over that in a minute as well. During the extra year, the 5th year, the 13th year, technically, you don't have a high school diploma. You're still a high school student, okay? According to the state of Michigan, in order to pay for that year and have it be covered by the school district, you have to still be a high school student. However, you don't really feel like a high school student. You're not taking any classes in your high school at all. All of your classes will be at Henry Ford College. You'll be a full-time college student during that 5th year. And when it's all said and done, you're going to have your high school diploma. You're going to get 60 credits or more, possibly an associate's degree, 1 year after your normal graduation year. And that parentheses there, if all goes well, the purpose of that is none of this is guaranteed, okay? All of this has to be earned. Students have to earn their credits. They have to pass classes. They have to, take enough credits that will get them to 60 or more credits. And I, as the counselor, I'm going to schedule them. I kind of serve as their college advisor, essentially, and I'll give them classes each semester that will take them to that point. Some students, however, decide not to take as many credits because they feel like they can't be successful. So they discuss that with me, and we make that decision together along with their parents. And so they might not get to 60 credits based on that, but our typical student, if they're passing all their classes and they're meeting the requirements, they're going to get to 60, 65, almost 70 credits sometimes, and they can get the associate's degree as well if they take particular classes. All right, here's what the program kind of looks like in a nutshell going through 11th, from 11th through the 13th year. Like I mentioned, in 11th grade, they're going to take College 101. This year, it's going to be an online class. They'll have a live class session once a week. They'll have some online work to do. And then they're going to be taking their five other high school classes at their home high school. In the second semester, they're going to be taking 2 college classes. One of them will be political science, which covers their high school government requirement. That class is the equivalent of taking 1 whole year of AP government. So our students take that and they get credit for college political science, as well as another elective, maybe a humanities or social science class, and then 4 other high school classes. So the first year in 11th grade, it looks a lot like dual enrollment. It's not a whole lot different, because they're still taking 6 total classes. And so we're sort of easing them into the college experience and giving them some training wheels, so to speak, as they maneuver from high school into college. In 12th grade, looks quite a bit different. All right, this is really when they experience a different kind of school reality for the first time. And you see the last point there. I really encourage our 12th graders to treat that year as their freshman year of college, because that's what it's going to feel like. They're taking a full-time college schedule during both semesters. They only have one high school class at their home high school, so that's a class that they work out with their high school counselor. And I usually encourage, I always encourage them to take an easy elective, because they're going to be fully loaded with tough core classes at Henry Ford College that year. Some students choose to take co-op, the work-based learning experience, as their one class, and so they may not even set foot in their high school, for that year during the normal semesters. So again, 12th grade, treat it like your freshman year of college. You're taking 2 semesters of full-time college during that year. And then the 13th year I mentioned before, there's no high school classes. They're taking college classes fully, both semesters. And again, the reason why this program works is because every single class that they take at Henry Ford College also goes on their high school transcript. And so we're counting some of those classes as meeting language arts requirements, math requirements, science requirements, sometimes economics, the government requirement they meet with their college course. And so their senior year, they have a couple classes. Their language arts class is going to be a college class, and their senior year math class will be an HFC class as well. All right, so how much could you save in this program, compared to a typical university experience? Well, I just looked these numbers up a couple days ago, and for this upcoming school year, this is what you'd typically pay if you paid full tuition at the University of Michigan in Ann Arbor. You're going to pay almost $60,000, including room and board, for one school year, or for 2 school years. At Wayne State, just over $52,000. Including room and board. So even if you take the room and board out, it's still, you're still almost paying, $30,000 or more dollars for 2 years worth of college. So quite a bit of savings there through this program, getting those 2 years done. All right, as I mentioned, I'm currently the Dearborn Schools counselor working with this program, and I support the students from day one. Throughout the program, I help them pick their schedules. I make sure that their classes are going to transfer to the universities that they're interested in. I help them finish the MTA. The MTA, it stands for the Michigan Transfer Agreement, and it's an agreement between Michigan universities and community colleges to make sure that credits will fulfill the general degree requirement. So students that get the MTA done, when they transfer to a university, the university will waive all their general degree requirements. So if there's a freshman level or sophomore class that every student has to take, some social science class or humanities class that they need to take at that university to fulfill the general degree requirement, they'll waive all those requirements if a student gets the MTA done. I help them with, applying for graduation from the college if they choose to get an associate's degree. With their college application process, I help them find scholarships and take them through that whole process. In addition to the support they're going to get from me and the other Collegiate Academy staff, we have a couple of secretaries. Mr. Falella is there to support our students. They can access any support system at all at Henry Ford College. They're full students at HFC. They're just because they're in the Collegiate Academy doesn't mean they have some special distinction that doesn't allow them to get some of the extra support. They could see a Henry Ford College counselor or an advisor or a financial aid advisor. There's tutoring. There's all sorts of support that they're able to get. There's a writing center that can help them with their papers and essays. So all of that support is available to our students as well. What I found is that students as much as I tell them, I'll send them emails and let them know about these things, but they often they don't realize it until they actually need the help or they're struggling. So if you as parents who are listening, just make sure you have them, reach out to me or Mr. Fadlela when they're struggling and ask for support, because we know where they can find it. As I mentioned, tutoring is available. It's a free resource. There's online tutoring. Hopefully face-to-face tutoring will come back sometime this school year at the Learning Lab at HFC's campus. So when it's all said and done and students are finishing up this program, there's a couple kind of added bonuses that are really nice in this program. So this is a little specific and something that's critical to understand. So when students apply to four-year colleges as a regular high school graduate, they're considered first-year freshmen, and they're allowed to, they basically have all these scholarships that are available to them as freshmen. Our students in the Collegiate Academy are high school students all the way through their fifth year. So when they graduate from our program and from, they're not graduating from the Collegiate Academy. The Collegiate Academy is not a high school. They're graduating from Edsel Ford or Fordson or Dearborn High. When they graduate after their fifth year, even though they have 60, 70 credits, they're still considered, in terms of financial aid, they're considered first-year college students when they apply to colleges. So they're still eligible for all the freshman merit-based scholarships, which are the really nice scholarships that universities provide. The credits transfer to universities, and like I said, if all goes well, the students do their part and are passing classes. In terms of their credits, they're going to be considered juniors when they start and have just a couple years remaining for their bachelor's degree. All right, some things to keep in mind. Some of the the fine print here. We do not provide transportation, so students are going to have to get to HFC for their classes on their own, whether that's they're driving themselves or they take Uber, the bus, or parents, siblings, however you want to do that. We do not cover all the costs for possible classes they might take. If they're going to do the nursing program, there's some costs involved there. They're going to have to buy their own nursing scrubs, they have to buy their own stethoscope. Essentially, anything that is a resource or material that they keep, they're going to have to pay for. We do provide calculators. We can loan out calculators for a semester. The books, you do not keep the books. You give them back to us, and we reuse them for other students. So anything that the student keeps for a program, an art kit for an art class, a software program for a Photoshop class, anything like that they're going to keep, you would pay for out of pocket. Another important thing is that students forget often during their fourth year, when they're only taking one class in the high school, is that they have to continue attending their high school classes. If they're not attending their high school classes, and we've had to do this in the past, we might pull the plug on the program and drop them out of the program and just have them graduate after their fourth year if they're having a hard time attending their high school classes. Again, these benefits that I've outlined here, none of them are guaranteed. They have to be earned. Students have to do well in their college classes. And, this last point here, it is a challenging program. We've had students, really struggle, who have been up to this point solid high school students, but they don't have the maturity level. They don't have the independence to do well, and they really struggle in the program. So it's a risk. It is a risk. There are, some good exit points in the program. If a student goes through 11th grade in the program and they just feel overwhelmed or they don't want to do it, it's quite easy to drop from the program at the end of 11th grade. Same in 12th grade. If at some point during the year they find, a student finds that it's just not working for them, or the parents want to drop them, we can make that work. We want students to stay. We want students to finish the program. But we've had, every year we have students that end up dropping from the program for various reasons. All right, that's the gist of what I have to share. I have not been monitoring the chat, but if you have questions, now would be a good time to ask those. Let me get to one of the big questions here is about how to apply. I'm actually gonna share my screen again, and if you can all watch carefully, I'm gonna show you where to apply to Henry Ford College. All right, so let me help you with the application process. You know, the easiest way, if you just Google HFC apply, that's going to get you to the right page. Let me show you where to go. So this top site here, hfcc.edu apply, that'll get you where you need to go there. Okay. And you're going to apply as a high school and college together. It'll say dual enrollment. So that's kind of the type of program you're in. You're gonna go to this link here. And then you go down to apply here, and it mentions, you know, Dearborn Fortson, that's a Ford there. So you're going to click on this link here to apply. You're going to put your information in there, and then when you get down to, are you a current high school student? Yes, you are. What type of program do you wish to apply for? So the second option here includes dual enrollment, advancement plus, early college, collegiate academy. So this is the option you're going to choose, includes all those. And then choose an area of interest. You're going to choose collegiate academy, okay? And then academic program, again, that's the only option, collegiate academy. What semester are you going to start? You're going to start in the fall 21 semester. Okay, so if you haven't created an account, you're going to go through this first page. You're going to create a password and create your account. Later in the application, it's going to ask for your year of graduation. What is your year of graduation if you're in the Collegiate Academy? Would someone unmute yourself and let us know what's your year of graduation?
2024.
2024, you got it. So when you apply and you fill out 2024, your year of graduation, you're going to put 2024. So the program area of interest is Collegiate Academy. Year of graduation later in the application is 2024. Now, if you already applied and you applied wrong, okay, you said dual enrollment, or you said year of graduation is 2023. As long as you filled out the Google form in the letter and you said that you want to join the Collegiate Academy, Miss Danny Thornfeld, she's our secretary that's kind of in charge of the application process. She's going to catch that and she'll fix it. She'll fix you to change it to the Collegiate Academy program and fix your graduation year to 2024. Yes,
Michael?
Gail. Yep.
Now, for students who already have a Hank ID, it's a little bit different when they're doing the application, correct?
They would start a new application. They would basically start a new application.
But they don't want another. They don't
create a new ID. So if you're here, you'd go to apply. If you already did dual enrollment before and you already have a Hank ID, you're going to go to apply, and then you're going to go to sign in. Okay, yeah. You'll go to sign in there. You'll sign in and you'll start the application again and choose Collegiate Academy. Now, part of filling out the Google form is having a Hank ID. So in order to get a Hank ID, you have to go through the application process. After you complete the application process, it's usually one or two business days before you get your Hank ID. They'll send you an email and give you that Hank ID. Then you can fill out the Google form. I know that the original letter that was sent out to you all, to the parents and students about the Collegiate Academy, had a deadline of July 30th to register for Collegiate Academy and fill out the Google form. Obviously, in the district, we didn't get the test scores soon enough to get this meeting going, and we had technical difficulties on Tuesday. So we're going to extend that due date until a week from now. So next Thursday, August 12th, we'd like you to make that decision and fill out that Google form to officially register for the Collegiate Academy by next Thursday, August 12th.
Thank you, Mr. Gato. So I'm gonna say a couple more things. As of now, the Collegiate Academy has been about 6 or 7 years now. We have not had any university in the US say we're not gonna take those credits yet. So any university, state or otherwise, our students have gone out of state. We have not heard of any occasion yet where the university called and says, what is this? We're not gonna do this. The credits are accepted. Our students have successfully managed DCMSP and the Berry Center and the Collegiate Academy. We will work with you. We're very flexible. As far as college classes, you are taking college classes as a college student. So you pick the time and days that work for you. You can take college classes on Saturday or in the evening or in the afternoon or any time that works for you transportation-wise. And remember, in 12th grade, you only have one high school class. Our students normally take that class first thing in the morning. So you go 7:30 to 8:30 to your high school. After that, the whole day is yours to take your college classes in. So as far as transfer credits, don't worry about it, they'll transfer. Mr. Gato is the best counselor anybody can have. Trust me on that, because I watch him very carefully. He will work with you. He will make sure you're successful, you have the right classes, and he's not gonna give you any class or let you take any class. It's not gonna transfer, it's not gonna do you any good. He's there to make sure you're successful and you're on the right track.
Thanks, Majid.
Mrs. Saleh, thank you. You have somebody else for us?
I have my youngest. As a parent, when I came and I talked to Mr. Fadala, Mr. Gathro, a couple of years ago when my kids were looking into the program, I was extremely, extremely hesitant. They were my oldest. I didn't know what route I wanted to do, collegiate or DCMST or dual enrollment. And in all honesty, this was the best decision I've ever made. Mr. Gathro, Mr. Fadala are awesome. Last year during the whole pandemic, Mr. Gathro was able to sit down, on Zoom with both the kids and make sure that all their classes transferred to Wayne State and that they were on the right track and what classes they needed to take. So they're very, very supportive, very flexible. And I was so excited when she got the welcome letter. So as a parent, I can't be biased. It's not my program, it's not my baby. But as a parent, extremely pleased with the entire process. Extremely pleased.
We only take 2 kids from each family, Mr. I remember on Ms. Sabah with her kids, were the auditorium, we had a face-to-face orientation, and they had so many questions, and they were nervous.
I'm extremely nervous.
We are very happy to be able to be serviced.
Thank you. I appreciate it. And thank you both for being, having a great program and following through and providing the support for our students for sure.
Mr. Gothro?
Yeah.
Is there still going to be a meeting near the end of August where remember how
we typically would have an in-person orientation meeting on campus near the end of August, to kind of get students acclimated with the campus and get their ID badges made. And actually, Mr. Falella and I just discussed this today, and there's so many question marks about what the college is going to allow us to do in terms of use of space and whether they can, whether the welcome center is open to make ID badges. We made the decision that we're going to have an online orientation. So all students who sign up for the Collegiate Academy and register for the program, we're going to have a Zoom meeting like this where we give you some more information. Now that we know that you're in the program, some of the do's and don'ts about the programs, and kind of make sure every last question is answered and every student is ready to go when school starts. One other thing to know is that if you're only going to be taking the one college class in the fall, the College 101 class, the HFC semester starts August 26th. So it's just the Thursday before Dearborn Schools begins. However, the College 101 class does not start until after Labor Day. It's going to start around September 15 or 16, somewhere in that range. So no stress. You can enjoy the beginning of school at your home high school, enjoy your Labor Day weekend, and then your college success class will not begin until after Labor Day. I had a question about the College 101 class, whether it's going to be at the home high school. It will not be at the home high school. It's going to be online. So there will be, I mentioned briefly earlier, it's going to be one class meeting a week, but it'll be on Zoom or team meeting. And then you'll have class work to do on your own. So it's an online class.
One last thing before we go. We encourage you to take AP classes. There's nothing wrong with AP classes. We prefer that you take college classes. For example, if you want to earn, if you take AP government, you will have to take the class for the whole year, take the AP exam, score a passing grade 3, 4, or 5 before you earn the college credit for the class. We prefer for you not to take AP government for the whole year. Take political science for 1 semester. Pass the class with a C or better. You've earned your college credit. So either 1 year AP exam passing or 1 semester of the college. There's nothing wrong with AP classes, but we prefer that you take college classes because if you pass it, they're guaranteed credit for you.
Now, if you're taking AP classes in this current school year in 11th grade, that's very typical for our students. Many of our students are taking AP Lang in 11th grade. And, that's, if you think about that as, kind of the highest level honors English class that our district offers, that's a great class that's going to get you ready for your college English classes. But the class that you'd get credit for at Henry Ford College, if you pass the AP Lang test, is English 131. All of our students take English 131 in 1 semester in 12th grade to cover their Language Arts 7 requirement. So if a student chooses to take the AP Lang test, which you're welcome to do, and you get the credit for that, well, then you're still gonna have to take another English class to cover your Language Arts 7 requirement. So instead of taking English 131, you could take creative writing, you could take Shakespeare or a journalism class or speech class, some other class to take the place of that. But you'd still have to take an additional English class on top of that. So what many of our students do is they'll take AP Lang as a class, and they'll choose not to take the AP Lang test because they know that they're going to be taking English 131 at Henry Ford College. Someone asked a question about how online classes work. Do you meet once a week online and then every other day you have work to do every other day? It doesn't exactly work that way. So you're going to meet once a week for about an hour and a half. And then you essentially have assigned work that you have to get done by a certain deadline. And so every week, the deadline might be 11:59 p.m. on Sunday or Saturday. And you could get the work done all on Monday and be done for the week and not have any more work to do. So online classes, you don't necessarily have to work every single day. You usually have a certain amount of work to do, certain assignments, projects. Some of them are turned in online. Some you might email them to your instructor, but you don't have class every day. You just have a certain amount of work that you have to get done. And thinking ahead, this is a little ahead for you all, but thinking ahead to second semester and 12th grade, you're not going to have classes every day like you do in high school. A college schedule you might have classes on Mondays, Tuesdays, and Thursdays, and not have class at all on Wednesdays and Fridays. You might get done with school every day by 11 a.m. or by 12:30. The college experience is a whole lot different than high school. And this is where, as we close up the meeting here, this is where you and as parents and students together kind of have to make the call. Are you mature enough to handle that kind of time and freedom? Because it's not free time. It's time to study. It's time to get your homework done, your essays done, not to procrastinate, not to put things off to the last minute. Because if you do that, and some of our students do, that's when they run into trouble. And so college life is a whole lot different than what high school looks like. You need to have maturity. You need to be able to work independently. And if you're not able to handle that, this is not the right program for you.
Okay, so thank you everybody for being here. Thank you, Mr. Gato. Thank you, Ms. Walmers. You have our contact information. Feel free to email us with any questions you have. And we look forward to seeing you all in person in the near future. Have a great evening.